Hello, St Thomas More School and St Ralph Sherwin College, CMAT. Hello there. So today for the reading challenge, I'm going to read to you a story from this. Now, if you're at St Thomas More, you might remember me talking about this book and two of my other favourite books on World Book Day this year. So this is a great opportunity for me to share with you a short story from inside it. And today I'm going to share with you the story of Orpheus and Eurydice. And before we get going, this has got some Greek names in it, so if I stumble on a few of the names, that's fine. These Greek names have multiple pronunciations, so we're going to go for, I'm going to go for them how I pronounce them, so let's get going. Okay, by the way, this book's by Stephen Fry, so just so you know. Okay, so, Orpheus. Orpheus was the Mozart of the ancient world. He was more than that. Orpheus was the Cole Porter, the Shakespeare, the Lennon and McCartney, the Adele, Prince, Luciano Pavarotti, Lady Gaga and Kendrick Lamar of the ancient world, the acknowledged sweet-singing master of words and music. During his lifetime, his fame spread around the Mediterranean and beyond. It was said that his pure voice and matchless playing could charm the beasts of the field, the fishes of the sea, the birds of the air, and even the insensate rocks and waters. Rivers themselves diverted their courses to hear him. Hermes invented the lyre, Apollo improved upon it, but Orpheus perfected it. It is agreed who his mother was, but there is less certainty about his father. Here we come to a theme that repeats in many variations in this age of heroes, that of double parenthood. Calliope, beautiful voice, the muse of epic poetry, was Orpheus's mother by a mortal, the Thracian king Augeas. Let's go Augeas. But Apollo was believed to be Orpheus's father too, and Orpheus was quite a favourite of the god. In any case, young Orpheus romped with his mother and 8 muse aunts on Mount Parnassus, and it was there that their doting Apollo presented his son with a golden lyre, which he personally taught him how to play. Soon the prodigy's skill at the instrument exceeded even that of his father, the god of music. Unlike Marassus, who may have been his stepbrother, Orpheus did not boast about his prowess, nor did he make the mistake of challenging his divine father to a competition. Instead, he spent his days mastering his craft, charming the birds of the air and beasts of the field, causing the branches of the trees to bend down and listen to his lyre, and the fishes to jump and bubble with joy at his soft, seductive strains. His character matched the sweetness of his playing and singing. He played for the love of music, and his songs celebrated the beauty of the world and glory of love. Orpheus and Eurydice. So great was his name that when Jason gathered a crew for the Argo and his quest for the Golden Fleece, he knew that he had to have Orpheus on board. But more of Jason later. For now, all we need to know is that the gods rewarded Orpheus for his bravery and loyalty in his adventure with the gift of love, in the shape of the beautiful Eurydice. As might be expected, the wedding was quite an affair. All the muses attended, Thalia entertained with comedy sketches, Terpsichore led the dancers, each of the other sisters also delighted the guests with examples of their own particular art. But a strange and uncomfortable incident clouded the happy event in the minds of many who witnessed it. Among the guests was Orpheus's half-brother, Hymen, a son of Apollo and the muse Urania, a minor deity of song, who he gave us the word hymn. Let's call them Hymen. Hymen served as one of the Erotes, the young men in the love god Eros' retinue, with a special responsibility for weddings and the marriage bed. Our words Hymen, it was Hymen then, and Hymenal also derived from him. His presence at his half-brother's wedding was a natural and great compliment, but for some reason, jealousy perhaps, Hymen failed to bless the union. The torch he bore spluttered and smoked, causing everyone to cough. The atmosphere was so acrid that even Orpheus was unable to sing with his accustomed sweetness of tone. Hymen soon departed the feast, but the cold and friendliness of his presence left a taste in the mouth quite as unpleasant as that of black smoke from his torch. Orpheus and Eurydice, this dark note quite banished from their minds, set up a happy house together in Pimplia, a small town that nestled in the valley below Olympus, close to the Pierian spring sacred to the Muses. It was Eurydice's misfortune, though, to catch the eye of Aristeus, a minor god of beekeeping, agriculture, and other country crafts. One afternoon, on her way home from the market, she took a shortcut through a water meadow. In the distance, she could just hear her beloved Orpheus strumming his lyre as he tried out a new and lovely song. Suddenly, Aristeus burst out from behind a poplar tree and bore down upon her. Frightened, she dropped the bread and fruit she was carrying and fled wildly, zigzagging across the field. Aristeus pursued her, laughing. "Orpheus, Orpheus," Eurydice cried. Orpheus put down his lyre. Was that his wife's voice? "Help me, help me," screamed the voice. Orpheus ran towards the sound. Eurydice wove this way and that, trying to escape the remorseless Aristus, whose hot breath she could feel on her neck. In her blind panic, she stumbled and fell into a ditch. Aristeus closed in, but by now Orpheus had appeared and he was running towards them, shouting. Aristeus knew an angry husband when he saw one and turned away disappointed. As Orpheus reached the scene, he heard Eurydice cry out again. The ditch in which she had stumbled was the home of an adder, which struck her angrily, sinking its fangs into her heel. Orpheus reached her side in time to see her sink back to mortal agony. He took her in his arms, he breathed into her, sang softly in her ear, begging her to return to him, but the venom of the viper had done its work. Her soul left her body. The cry that escaped from Orpheus struck horror and fear into the whole valley. The Muses heard it, the gods of Olympus heard it. It was the last sound they were to hear from Orpheus for some time. His mourning was absolute and unwavering, as could be. He put his lyre aside. He would never sing again. He would never smile again, compose a lyric again, so much as hum again. What life was left to him would be spent in pain and anguished silence. The town of Pimplia was given over to lamentation, grieving more over the loss of Orpheus's music than the life of Eurydice, well loved as she had been. The nymphs of the woods, water, and mountains fell into mourning too. Even the gods of Olympus pined and fretted at the drying up of the music. Apollo went to visit his son. He found him sitting in the porch, gazing out across the very fields where Eurydice had met her end. "Come now," said Apollo. "It's been more than a year. You can't mope like this forever. Watch me. What would persuade you to pick up your lyre again? Only the living presence of my beloved wife." Well, a thoughtful frown appeared on the golden god's smooth brow. "Eurydice is in the underworld. The gates are guarded by Cerberus, the three-headed hound of hell. No one but Heracles has ever penetrated the underworld and returned, and even he didn't come back out of a dead soul. But if anyone can do it, you can." "What are you saying? Why not go and get her? You just said no one has ever penetrated the underworld and returned." "Ah, but no one has ever had the power you have, Orpheus." "What power?" "The power of music. If anyone could tame Cerberus and charm Chiron the ferryman, it's you. If anyone could melt the hearts of Hades and Persephone, it's you. You really think? Have faith in what music can do." Orpheus went into the house and retrieved his lyre from the dusty cupboard into which he had thrust it. "String it with these," said Apollo, plucking from his head 24 golden hairs. Orpheus restrung the lyre and tuned it. Never had it sounded more beautiful. "Now go, and come back with Eurydice." And I think we'll leave it there for the time being. Hopefully next time you'll be able to hear part 2. So, thank you. Bye.